All right, everyone. I'm back with another video. Now, we're going to get to the main appetizer of this video, and that's clearly the former president. But first, we need to call Representative Ely Crane. We need to call him to the front and put him at parade rest. We got to call him to the front and put him at parade rest. Now, I try to be everybody got opinions. I try not to be so opinionated behind this microphone because I'm real I have a great understanding of people's feelings when it comes down to politics. You have Democrats, you got Republicans, and then you got the Green Party, then you got independents. But what I don't understand is how it's 2023, and then you got people that say things and they try to appeal to the constituents, and then they turn around and they say, "Oh, I misspoke." But you could keep that misspeaking to yourself. I'm going to say this one time after I play this video, and then we'll go from there. But let's play this video.
Unbelievably inspiring. My amendment has nothing to do with whether or not colored people or black people or anybody can serve, okay? It has nothing to do with color
Mr.
of your
Speaker.
skin, any of that stuff. What we want to preserve and maintain is the fact that our military does not become a social experiment. We want the best of the best. We want to have standards that guide who's in what unit, what they do. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, the Russians, the Chinese, the Iranians, the North Koreans, they are not doing this because they want the strongest military possible. I hope my colleagues on the other side can understand what we're doing. Thank you so much.
Mr. Speaker, asking to be recognized to have the words colored people.
For what purposes, gentlelady, seek recognition?
I'd like to be recognized to have the words colored people stricken from the record. I find it offensive and very inappropriate.
Is the gentlelady asking for unanimous consent to take down the words?
I am asking for unanimous consent words referring to me or any of my colleagues as colored people.
Mr. Speaker need to be chin check itself. If it was another race of people,
really,
honestly,
I was horrified to see
if it was another
a
race
business
of
owner
people,
in our community,
they wouldn't have asked, "Why do you want that script from the record?" You could get on that platform on the House floor and you could say whatever you want to.
Add State Representative Betsy Cofield to the
not
list
call-
of people opposed to this
Stop.
Facebook
I'm
post.
trying to stop
It
this.
surfaced this week.
But you do not call black people, you don't call us colored people. And then you turn around and say, I misspoke. So Ely Crane, representative of Arizona, referred to black people as colored people Thursday in floor debate over the proposed amendment to our annual defense policy bill, prompting a stern rebuke from the former chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. And I'm happy she chin checked him. You don't call black people. It's time that we get respect. We got over 50,000 patents in the United States, from the mailbox all the way to the bar tab, that were invented by black people. Give us some respect. The blinker, the indicators on your car, created by a black person. Ranch dressing, created by a black man. Give us some respect. All right. My amendment has nothing to do with whether or not colored people or black people or anybody can serve, said Crane. Now, he comes back, Crane comes back. We're going to get on the information about Mr. Trump in just a second. But then he comes back and says, I misspoke. You misspoke to whom? Because you couldn't have said that on the street to nobody. You gonna, because of the power that you have, you could do stuff like that. And then the Mr. Speaker that she was talking to, you got the gavel. You should have checked him right then and there. You gonna go political? Do you want to? Yeah, we want to strike it. Put some respect on it. So here we go. Let's get down here. Crane at first tried to amend his comments to people of color. I don't want to hear that neither. Before Betty again stepped in and said she wanted the word stricken. Call us Black Americans. I mean, some Black Americans love the word African American, but for me, I'm a Black American. That's what I am. When no one in the chamber objected, the chair ordered it stricken by unanimous consent. Betty wrote about the exchange on Twitter. I'm still in utter and disbelief that a Republican uttered the words colored people and reference. She said African American, but I like Black American. Service members were sacrificed their lives for our freedom. I would not tolerate such racist and repugnant words in the House chamber or anywhere in the Congress. That's why I asked the words to be stricken from the record, which has been done so by unanimous. In an interview with CBS, the Ohio Democrat say she doesn't accept Crane's explanation as he misspoke. I don't accept it either. And I'm a forgiving person. You know what the hell you were saying. He didn't misspoke. Betty said. He said clearly what, in my opinion, he tended to. She said some lawmakers intend to hold a special order hour on Monday to address the issue through a series of speeches on the floor. It shows us directly why we need DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Betty explained. DEI is not about just hiring a black person or putting a person in the military or in college. It's about having diversity of thought. It's just frustrating to have to fight the battles on the United States House floor, she added. The Congressional Black Caucus called on Crane to apologize to Betty and service members and suggested he contact the House of Representatives Diversity Office. Representative Elise Crane's comment was unprofessional, insensitive, and unbecoming of a member of the United States House of Representatives. The CBC said in a statement Friday, it smacks of vigils of racism, proven that in 2023 we do not live in a colorblind society that Justice John Roberts and Justice Clarence Thomas claim in their majority decision striking down affirmative action. Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries was the first African American to lead a party in Congress, said Crane made an unfortunate statement. His words were taken down, and that was the appropriate thing to happen, Jeffries said during his weekly news conference. Speaker Kevin McCarthy told CBS News Crane's comments were not acceptable. I'll take him at his word that he misspoke, McCarthy said. I have never heard him use that word before, so you will have to ask him about that. Now, what do you think? Do you take his words as that he misspoke or he misrepresented? What do you think about that? Huh? What do you think of that? All right, now let's talk about DeSantis, or DeSantis that Trump loves to say. Two DeSantis campaign veterans leaving to help him from outside. All right, two veterans of Governor Ron DeSantis' political operation are departing his presidential campaign to work with an outside group that will focus on boosting the Florida Republican in his race for the White House. I just don't picture Ron DeSantis as a president. I don't. The department individuals are Dave Abrams, who previously led and later advised DeSantis communications team, and Tucker Abasham, who has aided DeSantis fundraising efforts. Abrams and Abasham are husband and wife. Now they're getting out of Dodge because they see Trump beating you in the polls. Also, they see that you are down by double digits. And then you also have other people that's strong. Like what's the Indian American that's in Vivek? Is it Vivek? Their exit, which was first reported against former Donald Trump. So they always come up with this, oh, I'm leaving because of this. No, you're leaving because you're getting your behind whooped. That's why they're leaving. All right, DeSantis failed to see a bump in the support by joining the race, and his campaign is stalling second, comfortably ahead of the rest of the field, but well behind Trump. Donors and Republican operatives have publicly voiced concern about his operation, encouraged a change of approach. In a statement confirming the staff moves, DeSantis spokesperson Andrew Romeo said that the more people hear and see Governor DeSantis and his forward thinking, nah, you did some forward dumminess when you kicked out your immigration bill. You got rid of the DEI, where you don't want to teach ethics in schools. You're trying to kick out sororities and fraternities off some campus. Right. The better our path to victory. It ain't no victory. The highest your level is governor. All right. The more people hear and see DeSantis. All right. Governor DeSantis will be appearing at events with dozens of organizations celebrating his policy and leadership. DeSantis is everywhere. Tour has begun. I mean, Disney beating y'all if y'all want to talk the truth. Out here, so sometimes when you build a plane, you fly it. Testing. Let's see. All right, let's go. A phone call to Abrams was not immediately his political operations midday through his first term as governor. They took on significant roles during the re-elections last year when DeSantis broke fundraising. Not immediately clear the purpose of the outside organization that the pair would now assist. And DeSantis' campaign did not respond to further questions. DeSantis okay. All right. So, purpose of the outside organization, and the pair would now assist. And DeSantis' campaign did not respond to further questions. DeSantis has already relied heavily on outside All right, let's get to the meat and potatoes of what we actually speaking about today. And that is drum rolls, please. Trump asks courts to throw out evidence and disqualify DA in Georgia probe 2020 election aftermath. Now, DA Fani has already said that she definitely was going to go after the former president for making that phone call in her state. Now, because she's the DA of Fulton County, where that phone call occurred, she definitely has the right to go after the former president. Now, the only thing that can happen is the Supreme Court can actually get into the frying pan and try to disrupt this. So let's make this quick. Donald Trump is seeking a new court order to essentially neutralize the Fulton County investigation into the former president's conduct after he lost the 2020 election, as potential indictments loom in Georgia. Trump's lawyers filed petitions this week attempting to throw out the evidence collected last year by a special grand jury, banning prosecutors from presenting the material to a newly empaneled grand jury that has charging powers, and disqualifying the District Attorney Fani Willis for any related proceedings. Now, I think the only people that can do that probably is the Georgia Supreme Court, but I don't see the Georgia Supreme Court stepping in doing that. And the Supreme Court can step in and make this happen for them. But like I said, again, I don't see them getting in there doing that. It's my opinion. All right, lawyers for Trump say letting the investigation proceed will lead to a violation of his fundamental constitutional rights, while he seeks his party's nomination for the presidency of the United States. Now, my question is, and there's no judgment zone, by calling into Georgia, asking them to overthrow a political nationwide election, that has to be a crime of some capacity. And if the Supreme Court actually step in and do that, that has to be, in my opinion, a severe overreach. All right. Trump lawyers filed the separate petitions with the Fulton County Superior Court, as well as the Georgia Supreme Court, asking them to intervene with the ongoing grand jury process. Excuse me. Willis, an elected Democrat, has indicated that the final charging decisions could come as soon as the next month. Throughout the probe, Willis used a special purpose grand jury to hear evidence from 75 witnesses, including Trump advisors, his former attorneys, White House aides, and Georgia officials. But Trump's lawyers argued that these special grand juries are themselves unconstitutional. A regular Fulton County grand jury could return an indictment at any day that would be that have been based on a report and predicate investigative process that were wholly without authority. Trump's lawyers argue in their filing, it is one thing to indict a ham sandwich, but to indict the mustard stained napkin that it once sat on is quite another, the lawyers wrote. The former president has previously attempted without success to shut down the state-level investigation in Georgia, which has zeroed in on his efforts to overturn the results there in 2020. Now, like I said again, the former president who's seeking re-election is definitely going to have to atone for some of the things that he did. Now, quickly, how do you feel about this? Do you think the former president will get this thrown out? I know I said Supreme Court. If you made it, I misspoke. I did mention the Georgia Supreme Court, but they filed with the Superior Court asking them to kick her off of the panel. So it's very, very likely that that won't happen, but I am impressed with the former president for even filing the petition itself. All right, but this is Antonio with Team Tiggio. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'm trying to grow this channel, people. Please like the video, share the video. And once again, I will see you next time.